This is the Nebraska Women's Basketball Show with head coach Amy Williams. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
She wants a screen, uses it from Cravens, dribbles, no look pass, deep left side. Widener will take a three in the corner. You betcha! Allison Widener with a triple off the assistant Shelley. 2:44 to go first quarter. Deep three on E. Stewart. You betcha! She's on fire. Ani Stewart has 8. Here comes Haiby. Haiby into the middle of the floor. Deep left side. Jazz Shelley alone for 3. You betcha! Huskers have the lead on a Jazz Shelley triple.
Set up great by Jazz Shelley. Second three of the quarter, Big Red.
Isn't stopped, gives it out top. Markowski for 3 on the trail. You betcha! Markowski's hit 3 threes. That one's off the assist from Widener.
Nebraska is just hitting home run after home run.
Markowski, her 9th rebound. She's 1 point and 1 rebound away from a double-double. Haiby throws underneath. Bourne standing there waiting on it, and it counts. And a foul. And Izzy Bourne ran the floor and got rewarded.
Here is your host, Matt Coatney, on the Huskers Radio Network.
It is basketball season, and you think there's no game tonight. There's volleyball later tonight on the Huskers Radio Network. But let me tell you, fans, when we're doing this show, it's basketball season. There's the coach, Amy Williams. I'm Matt Coatney. We're going to take your calls tonight at 402-413-2400 in our first hour of Sports Nightly, and then shortened version in hour 2, because John Baylor and Lauren Cook West will be with you at the bottom of hour 2 for Husker volleyball against Wisconsin. Amy Williams, how are you? It's so good to see you in the studio.
I'm doing great, Matt. It's great to see you. It's the best part about basketball season, being back in full swing, is that you and Jeff Greesh, and I get to see you guys way more frequently, and so I'm excited for it.
I just think it's great. The Huskers are preseason ranked 22nd in both polls. The coaches poll, the USA Today Women's Basketball Coaches Association poll came out today and have you 22nd. It's a palpable buzz around your team with being in both of those polls. All last year, everybody asked me why isn't this team ranked? And I'm like, it'll work itself out. Yeah. And now you're there. You're coming off an NCAA tournament bid, semifinal in the Big Ten tournament. I hear it from fans all the time. I get 2 questions walking down the street. One is, are you excited for basketball season? I think the team's going to be great. And the other one, who's going to be the new football coach here? So, but they asked me about women's basketball first. I have to think, if I hear that much from fans, you've got to be noticing that the fans are really anticipating your team this year, the potential for the upcoming season. Do you sense that from Husker Nation?
Yeah, we really can feel that, and so we're grateful for that. We love the excitement that surrounds our program. Husker Nation is just amazing. I mean, we're not so far removed from that pandemic season where we didn't get to feel that for an entire year. So we are very appreciative of the fan base, the excitement, the buzz that they create at our games, and the buzz that they've been creating in anticipation for this season.
We will take your calls here for the full hour at 402-413-2400, 402-413-2400. So let me tick off some of the reasons I think fans are excited. Last year, your team had 4 wins over teams that went to the Sweet 16, including Michigan twice. Your 3 wins over top 10 teams, just the second time in school history the Big Red posted multiple wins over top 10 teams in the same season. That 21-point home win over the Wolverines, the largest margin of victory in NU history over a top 10 opponent. The 17-point win over Indiana, the largest margin ever against a top 5 opponent. Now, those are hard results to replicate, but the good news is you've got a large core of your team back. That's got to make you feel pretty good.
Yeah, I do. I feel excited about that. I mean, we've got a core group that have tasted that and that are really on a mission to want to just keep raising the bar for our program. And so we definitely have some pieces that we will miss, and probably none more than Sam Haiby, but I think our team is really rallied around her and just wants to find a way to honor her with their play this season. And so we've been figuring it out and trying to put the pieces together, and I'm just pleased.
Every offseason is different. I want to talk about the offseason a little bit. You've got 10 players back. You mentioned Sam being out, so 9 without Sam, but if you include Sam, you had all of your starters back from who was starting at the end of the season. Did that make the offseason more productive? Did it make it a different offseason? You know, you talked about the COVID season 2 years ago. That was a completely different animal than anyone's ever seen. But with so many starters back, did that make the offseason more productive, or how did it go?
Yeah, you know, I think that there were a lot of reasons why this was a fairly unique off-season, in the sense that for the first time in over a couple of years, our 2 Australian natives were able to go back home for a little bit of an extended visit at home, and which we were just ecstatic and thrilled that they had that opportunity finally to travel back home and spend some extensive time with their families. And then while they were home for a little extended period, we had our dual sport athlete that was training with basketball during that time frame. And then as we were kind of trickling back with putting Jazz and Izzy back into place for workouts, and then Maggie was leaving and doing some USA volleyball. And, you know, so kind of throughout the off season, it provided us some opportunities to just get players like Callan Hake and Maddie Kroll and those players some repetitions with some of our returning players. And we had just a really good mix, I thought, of skill work and skill development and opportunities to kind of learn a little something about our new players and start to mesh them with some of our returning players and give a lot of different reps to different players. Even though Naila Dillard and Trinity Brady are not new players in our program, but they haven't played competitively in games for 2 years. So so giving them a lot of repetitions while we were, piecing together and kind of having some sporadic throughout the summer was different. But I think once we were able to get reported for preseason conditioning and everybody started getting after it together, it's like you really started to kind of see that meshing and all that hard work that they've put together, put in this offseason kind of starting to come together.
Our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. 402-413-2400. I'm Matt Coatney with the coach, Amy Williams, of your 22nd ranked preseason Nebraska women's basketball team. They have an exhibition game coming up this Sunday at Pinnacle Bank Arena against Washburn. Let's head to the phones, and let's go out to Loomis, Nebraska, and talk to Andrew. Andrew, you're on with Coach Williams.
Coach Williams, how you doing tonight?
Hi, Andrew. I'm good, thanks.
It's actually Drew. I'm on the Coaches Association, and just wanted to give a shout-out to Amy Williams for what she did during the all-sports clinic for the Coach Association. She's just first class, and what she did for all the coaches in Nebraska, what an ambassador for the state and for boys and girls basketball. She just did a great job, and I was just super impressed with what she did, the time she took, and just the everything she talked to the coaches about, and I was just very impressed with her.
Thank you so much, Drew. I really appreciate that. What an awesome group that was to speak to and spend time with this summer. Just it was a fun group. They had great humor. We're joking around, and I think it was best. I had stuff prepared. We went through all of that, and then when I just was able to ask for kind of what the coaches wanted, and I think they probably we got the most out of that session and segment, and it was just such an interactive group and really fun for me to be a part of.
Oh, wonderful.
As a basketball coach, I just learned a lot from her. I thought she had a lot of good stuff, and I can just tell why Nebraska basketball, women's basketball in particular, is just headed in such a good direction. I think she does a great job, and I've been telling as many people as I can, like, she was so impressive, and Nebraska is extremely lucky to have her as a basketball coach, and that's just what I wanted to say, so thank you for the time.
Thank you, Drew. I really appreciate that so much. Thanks for the phone call.
Drew was on our Woodhouse Auto Family hotline. The Sports Nightly hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. Drew brought up some things. Obviously coaches around Nebraska and throughout the Midwest, this region, look up to you for, being the head coach at Nebraska. It's got to make you, I think, harken back to when, obviously your family's got a coaching background, but when you were learning coaching, and I know you used to live in the basement with Amy Stevens when you were at UNK,
yeah.
How important is it to you now being able to kind of give back to the things that you got when you were a high school coach or a young GA getting into college? What, do you feel like you kind of owe your brethren some of that?
Absolutely. I for sure owe lots and lots of give back for everything that this game and this profession has given to me. But I really feel like every single drill that we run, I mean, there might be some where we sit in the office and say, okay, here's what we really want to get accomplished, and we may kind of draw some things up. But for the most part, every drill we run in practice, every play we've ever ran, has been something that we've taken from another coach, or we've learned from somebody, watched film. It's kind of just piecing it all together in your own kind of system. And so for me, if there's any opportunity for me to be able to share or give to other people, sometimes I'm still like, feel like I should be the student. And every high school coach that comes to watch practice, I'm like, please tell me after practice, what did you see? What could we benefit? What could we do better? What are your eyes seeing? Because, we always have room for learning, but if there's anything I can do to potentially help somebody else along the way, I want to do that.
It's always fascinating to me when I come to practice and there's a high school coach that you've allowed to come watch, and they're just so appreciative. They tell me, and I could tell. I just think you do such a wonderful job. Let me get back to Sam Haiby a little bit.
Yeah.
If I can. Obviously we all wish she could be with the team this year. This would have been her 5th season, 2-time All Big Ten, captain, the only Husker in history to do this, career milestones of 1,000 points, 500 rebounds, and 400 assists. Complete 5-tool player. So, but she's not going to be here due to the injury. How much different is the team going to be without Sam?
Yeah, I mean, Sam has just for so many years here just done so many different things. As you mentioned, it's not just like, okay, who's going to find a way to score in Sam's place? But when I would ask Sam to, we need you to get more involved with rebounding, then she'd just go, and next thing I'd look, and she's the leading rebounder on our team as a point guard, and I'd say, okay, we really need you to handle the basketball under pressure, and she'd single-handedly break pressure by just, her ability to change pace and create separation. And so she's always done so many things for our team, not just, making smart decisions, being a great passer, being a great scorer, creating offense for herself and others. So we've talked quite extensively about that it's not going to fall on one person's shoulders to try to pick up the slack and bring what Sam, we need everybody to kind of contribute. And it's, people being able to find ways to step in and pick up some of the slack with her ability to create offense and go, finish it at the rim, late shot clock, those types of things that our kids are taking a lot of pride in trying to elevate their game to be able to fill in. But we're going to continue to lean on Sam in the leadership category and try to just continue to lean on her experience. And, when I hear her standing on the baseline in practice and she's just got really valuable insight from her seat as a player that's kind of looking at it through the player's eyes, but also, now being able to kind of share that information. And so we're going to lean on her as a leader and just excited to continue to use her as a valuable resource this season.
This is the Nebraska Women's Basketball Radio Show. That's Amy Williams. I'm Matt Coatney. The Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline is 402-413-2400. It's also our text line. We have a couple of texts I want to get to. John in Omaha, question for you, Coach Williams.
Okay.
John says, I realize this sounds like a dumb question, but I'm curious. Would you rather your team be ranked at the beginning of the year or a little off the radar? Can't wait for this year. Go Big Red, John in Omaha. You're ranked 22nd in both polls. A lot of excitement heading into the season. So John is saying, would you rather kind of slide into the season kind of as an unknown, or would you rather be in the poll where you are now?
Yeah, I think at this time we're excited to be ranked in the poll. We don't put a lot of stock in a preseason poll. I mean, we'd be way more excited or concerned with where we're ranked in the polls right towards the last couple weeks of the season.
Right.
I think those things matter to this team way more than a preseason poll. But I will say that I feel like that preseason poll shows that people are taking note of what our previous teams have done, and a lot of people that have put a lot of work in over the last, long time, kind of building to garner the respect. So for sure, it feels good to have a little bit of validation from the outside of what we inside the room kind of know, which is if we work, if we continue to compete, if we connect, if we max out to what our potential is with this team, that we can be one of the best teams in the country and we can accomplish some really special things this year. And so we're happy to have some validation of that from the outside, but we really won't put a whole lot of stock in what everybody else on the outside is saying, and be more focused on if we know we've held our standards.
402-413-2400, another text on our Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline text line. Art in Los Angeles, who's been a longtime listener and interactor with this show. Art says, hi, Amy. You might remember me from last season.
Yeah.
How I said the team would go to the Final Four. I really meant everything I said for this season. Yes, going to the Final Four this year. I'm so excited. I really love this team and their coach. Go Huskers. Art he is a solid, consistent listener to this show.
He sure is. And Art, hello, and thanks again for reaching out. And you're excited. I love hearing from you, Art, on this show, because your belief in our team about matches my belief in this team. So I love it, and I really appreciate your continued support and looking for big things from the Huskers this season.
Before we head to break, here's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Buckle up and put the phone down. Again, that's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. 402-413-2400. Matt Coatney and Amy Williams. We'll have more of your calls and text and more of the Nebraska Women's Basketball Radio Hour when we return in just a few moments.
Do you want your date to wait for your interlock device to let you drive? Your kids to ask why you have an ankle bracelet? Or your boss to see your criminal history? Do you want to miss important life events because of house arrest? Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdowns-for-teachers.
It's harvest special time, and you can save $3 per foot or $3,900 per quarter-mile system now on a T&L pivot system. Pivots worked long hours this season battling dry weather to save top-dollar corn and soybean crops. But did your pivots work like no other? If not, it's time to invest in a reliable, safe, low-maintenance T&L irrigation system. Hydrostatic drives move these durable workhorses continuously across fields. So get an irrigation system that works as hard as you do. Contact T&L Irrigation, your local T&L dealer, or visit us online at TLIRR.com. T&L irrigation systems like no other.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Your Nebraska soccer team is hosting the quarterfinals of the Big Ten tournament this Sunday, October 30th. The Huskers welcome the Ohio State Buckeyes to Lincoln for the biggest game of the season. Go to huskers.com/tickets now. Plus, hot dogs and popcorn are both only $2 for Sunday's game only. Bring the whole family and cheer on your Huskers as they contend for the Big Ten title. Save money by getting your tickets online at huskers.com/tickets rather than at the ticket window. See you at Hibner Stadium this Sunday at noon.
Shop Woodhouse Buick GMC first for your next SUV and experience the difference. We offer a full lineup of SUVs so you can find the one that best suits you and your lifestyle. The GMC Terrain and Acadia offer the perfect blend of tech and safety on the road. Or discover the style, comfort, and cargo space of the Buick Enclave. Plus, we make it easy to shop, finance, and purchase in-store or online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Pham with Campus News. Nebraska has taken over leadership from Princeton University in coordinating the U.S. physics community at the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland. For its role, Nebraska has been awarded over $50 million in National Science Foundation grants. This cutting-edge work at the world's largest particle accelerator helps physicists uncover the origins and makeup of the universe.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The thoughtfully redesigned 2023 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance, more than Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4. The 2023 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of June 2022. Duteau Subaru in Lincoln and DuteauSubaru.com.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
Hey, welcome back to the Nebraska Women's Basketball Radio Hour. Matt Coatney with the coach, Amy Williams, 402-413-2400. is our Woodhouse Auto Family hotline and our text line. Visit a participating AGCO dealer between now and November the 4th and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Nebraska-Wisconsin football game in Lincoln on November the 19th, plus pregame tailgate. See participating AGCO locations across Nebraska, and you can win this season. Amy Williams, the texts continue to come in. You can also call in. We'd love to hear your voice also. Mark in Omaha says, Coach, can you tell me which players can touch the rim or higher? Now, I know Amy Williams doesn't want to brag. I don't know if you're of a certain age when you can remember Amy Gusso's leaping ability, her hops, when she was playing for Angela Beck and Paul Sandiford here. But I know this is very important to you, that people can emulate your skill set or maybe exceed that, Coach Williams. So your thoughts on that?
Something I was never accused of was being a good leaper, Matt. So, yes, I was happy if I could touch the net is kind of what my jumping ability was as an athlete. But to be honest with you, we have never even attempted to see who can touch the rim. It's not something that I'm super concerned with, but I know we have several that can, for sure.
I would guess Kendall Coley.
For sure, Kendall Coley can touch the net. I mean, the rim. For sure, she can touch the rim. I think, I bet once we get Maggie back, she'll be in that category.
6'5", a legitimate 6'5", right?
Yes. I think we have several others that can touch the rim. Maybe Kendall Moriarty in the guard position. She's pretty springy, and so I can't say for sure, but it's not something that we work on in practice, really.
Oh, my goodness. Mark, I appreciate it. 402-413-2400. We've talked a bit about Sam Haiby. Now, I just want to get this out here. So, done for the season. She may be able to come back next year. Has that been decided? Or, I mean, is that kind of vague right now? Or is there any... You guys looking at that later on, or right now we don't have Sam and we'll look at other things later?
Right. I mean, right now we're just getting Sam kind of through the initial stages of getting herself through surgery, getting her healthy, getting her back on track and on progress for getting healthy. And then, you know, when the time comes, we'll have those discussions about, you know, what her plans for future are, and we'll kind of let her have just some time to kind of process everything and make that decision and have a good, solid decision if she decides to finish her grad school next year and use her final year of eligibility while she's completing that grad school, and you know, we'll have to petition the NCAA for the medical redshirt year, and you know, I would think she would have a very great shot at getting that approved by the NCAA if that's something that she decides is in her best interest for the future.
You have to keep her around if you can for a couple of reasons your traditional fan may not think about. Her father leads the world in bad dad jokes and delights in telling those to me. And of course, Sam is a huge St. Louis Cardinals baseball fan, which makes her one of my all-time favorite Huskers.
Well, I'll tell you, Matt, just a couple things about that. Not only does Jay Haiby lead the nation in bad dad jokes, but he's also, well, maybe not quite as good a ping pong player as he thinks he is.
Oh, there was, I saw, and it should have been on ESPN, the Ocho. I saw one of the most knockdown, drag-out ping pong matches that you're talking about one of these days.
Yeah.
There should have been, you know, there's video everywhere these days. There's got to be security camera footage of this somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you
I know
you showed your skill set.
He took on my daughter, and there may or may not have been zero dry hairs on his head because he was sweating so hard, and she offered to switch and play him left-handed if he would prefer. But I know he bought his own ping pong table, and he's been practicing a lot since then. So I don't know. I mean, he's maybe upped his game a little bit.
Yeah, he should stick to the dad jokes, I think. Let's go back to the phones at 402-413-2400. Up in Omaha is Chuck. Chuck, you're on with Coach Williams.
Hey, thanks, Matt. Hey, Coach Williams. I was just wondering how good is it for you guys to have Trinity and Naila back and healthy, and what do you think their contributions are going to be this year? And then I'll just hang up and listen. Thanks, you guys.
Thanks, Chuck. Thanks for the call. I'm just excited to be able to talk about those two young ladies because there are not very many people in the country that would have been able to persevere through what each of those two young ladies have been through, just medically speaking, and not just one injury here, but complications from that and different things, sicknesses, illnesses, things that they've both had to just endure and fight through and overcome, and all to be back on the court with this team, with their sisters, the people doing what they love to do with the people that they love to do it with. It's just very heartwarming. Sometimes I have to remind myself, just take a step back and think, I was Naila texted me, and she said it was 990 something days since the last time she had suited up against another Division I opponent before we entered our close scrimmage, and I just had to really take a step back and kind of just just take that into perspective of all that she has done and fought through, and her and Trinity both to get back. So we're really excited to have them both back on the floor, and they both are showing some different things and bringing something to the table and finding ways to work through some of the rust that builds up when you haven't played competitively for 2 years. But we've been very excited about what both of those kids are bringing to the table.
Chuck, thank you for the phone call. When you talk about Naila Dillard, I think it's easy for me to say, well, Michael Caton is gone. Naila, not exactly the same situation, but missing, like you said, 900 and some odd days. Very similar situation to Michael. And they're both kind of big guards. Do you see Naila where she can maybe replace the kind of thing that Mike Cole had given you of coming off the bench, being a spark, kind of like she did at Wake Forest, or are they two completely different kind of players?
I think they're very different players, very different, and I think Naila is a very confident three-point shooter, and Mike Cole really got to be that way as the season kind of progressed. But I think they bring different things to the table, but both of them bring something to the table, and definitely something that we need and we do not have in some of our other people. So we're so excited for the depth that Naila can provide for us.
Chuck's question was on our Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline. The Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. And on that hotline, we also take text messages at 402-413-2400. Lyle in Lincoln has a text question for Amy Williams. If Sam Haiby can be a, quote, student coach or, quote, player coach, are there any NCAA rules about what she can or can't do, or what you can or can't assign her to coach the way of topics or skills? And what are her unique talents, skills that she is best able to contribute in the coaching role?
Yeah, what an awesome text message. And in the sense of a student, where she is actually a member of our team roster, she's not as limited about what she can, be saying, and her leadership and the things that she can contribute in that area. So that's awesome for us. But I think the best thing about Sam, just the other day, our team, or several members of our team took a little trip up to Humphrey, Nebraska for a little day at the farm, and they got to do some really fun things.
Oh, wow.
And they were riding horses, and several people from that community kind of came together to give those girls this like really cool experience when they went home with Allison. And one of those people was at practice yesterday, and he said, from the instant that Sam got out of the car, I could just feel the leadership as it just oozes out of her. I mean, she just has incredibly unique ability. She has worked incredibly hard to connect and form connections with every player on the team to a point where now they respect her, not only as one of the best players on our team and the most experienced players, but because they know that she has their best interests at heart. And, so just from the very get-go, her leadership and the way she kind of just commands herself and that presence, and everybody is really drawn to her. And I think that was just a telltale sign of what we see on a daily basis out of that kid.
Lyle, we appreciate the text. 402-413-2400. Dorothy Lynch, Homestyle and light and lean dressing, endless flavorabilities. A longtime sponsor of the Nebraska Women's Basketball Radio Hour. When we return, we'll take more of your calls and your text at 402-413-2400 and more with Amy Williams when we return in a few moments.
The Ford truck lineup is purpose-built from the ground up, designed to be tough and productive. Crafted with high-strength, military-grade aluminum alloy body and torture-tested high-strength steel frame with new tech to help you work smart and hard. The F-150, Ranger, and Maverick are built tough and ready to tackle whatever lies ahead. Hit the road in confidence and learn more about Ford trucks in-store or online anytime at WoodhouseFord.com, your trusted truck dealer since 1975. Woodhouse Ford.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pre-game routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hoegemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Your Nebraska soccer team is hosting the quarterfinals of the Big Ten tournament this Sunday, October 30th. The Huskers welcome the Ohio State Buckeyes to Lincoln for the biggest game of the season. Go to Huskers.com/tickets now. Plus, hot dogs and popcorn are both only $2 for Sunday's game only. Bring the whole family and cheer on your Huskers as they contend for the Big Ten title. Save money by getting your tickets online at Huskers.com/tickets rather than at the ticket window. See you at Hibner Stadium this Sunday at noon.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike.
Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so cold. The furnace is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS.
Beardmore Subaru celebrates Nebraska volleyball again this season. 5 national championships, 47 All-Americans, and a home sellout streak dating back to 2001. The longest streak for any women's sport in NCAA history. Beardmore Subaru has been a proud supporter of Husker volleyball for more than 10 years. Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the new Subaru Outback Wilderness, loaded with off-road ready upgrades, and the new Solterra, Subaru's first ever all-electric and all-wheel drive vehicle. Go Big Red.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
A reminder to buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Nat Coatney and Amy Williams with you on the Nebraska Women's Basketball Radio Show. 402-413-2400. Amy, we have still another text. On our Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline text line, Chad from Rising City says, Coach Williams, how does this work with Maggie Mendelson? Has she practiced with you? How does the dual sport thing work? Can she be effective for Husker women's basketball?
Well, absolutely, we believe with everything in us that she can be effective for Husker women's basketball, and we can't wait to welcome her back to our team with open arms. We just hope that's after she's won a national championship with the volleyball team first. But she has trained with us some. She reported to us in June and trained with us for that entire month. And then in July, she had the opportunity to go play some USA volleyball. She won a gold medal, came back from that, and then it was just time for a little bit of rest for her body before she reported to fall camp with volleyball teams. So since then, you know, she's been taking some shots, doing some things to kind of just have a ball in her hands, like just to, you know, game shots and, you know, things, nothing that is contact that would put her at risk for any type of injury or any type of overuse, but just whenever she can on a day here or there, getting in and having a basketball in her hands so she feels comfortable. But the one thing about Maggie, and I know Coach Cook has talked about this quite extensively, is she's just really special with her mentality, and she is a very high IQ kid that picks things up really quickly. We learned that in June when she was training. You know, we can talk to her and teach her, one time, make a correction one time, and then she fixes the footwork. And she, so because of that, we feel like, yes, our team is practicing extensively. We're putting in, a lot of plays and offenses, and those kinds of things will take some time for her to learn, and timing and things. But just her mentality, her focus, her ability to adjust and learn quickly, added to just her skill set, her athleticism, her ability to run up and down, get rebounds, make good passes and decisions and things. We do feel like she's going to be able to come back and help us in the second semester for sure.
That's Amy Williams. I'm Matt Coatney. We'll have more with the Nebraska Women's Basketball Radio Show in just a few moments.
Your Nebraska soccer team is hosting the quarterfinals of the Big Ten tournament this Sunday, October 30th. The Huskers welcome the Ohio State Buckeyes to Lincoln for the biggest game of the season. Go to Huskers.com/tickets now. Plus, hot dogs and popcorn are both only $2 for Sunday's game only. Bring the whole family and cheer on your Huskers as they contend for the Big Ten title. Save money by getting your tickets online at Huskers.com/tickets rather than at the ticket window. See you at Hibner Stadium this Sunday at noon.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The thoughtfully redesigned 2023 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance, more than Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4. The 2023 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of June 2022. Duteau Subaru in Lincoln and DuteauSubaru.com.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
Husker fans, in honor of the 50th anniversary of Title IX, we are taking a look back at some of the female Husker trailblazers who proved that more is possible. Today, we honor Pat Logston. After graduating from UNL in 1979, Tom Osborne offered Pat her first opportunity at a full-time job. Working in a number of different roles for the Husker football program, in 1997, Osborne named Logston as the Director of Football Operations, the first woman in Division I history to serve in that position. In 2003, she was promoted to Associate AD for Administration as her duties expanded across Husker athletics. And in 2008, she was named Nebraska's Senior Woman Administrator, a position she remained in until her retirement in February, after a 42-year career working for the Huskers. Serving as a role model and mentor to generations of women aspiring to work in athletics administration. And throughout every step of her 4-decade career, from groundbreaker to advocate, Pat Logston proved that more is possible. This spotlight on Title IX is proudly brought to you by Bank of the West. Women-owned businesses are vital to a thriving culture of entrepreneurship, innovation, and responsible contribution to community and the planet. Bank of the West is proud to provide resources, training, and solutions to help you achieve your goals. Learn more at bankofthewest.com. Member FDIC.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Rebound in the hands of Vandermill. Vandermill in the paint, kicks it to Lawrence. He'll shoot the three. Looks good. Got it! Free ball. Jamarcus Lawrence.
Sunday, Husker Hoops is back. Women's basketball takes the airways at 12:45 with Jeff Greesh and Matt Coatney. Pre-game coverage for the men's basketball team starts at 4 p.m. as they play Colorado. Listen in to Kent Pilvelka and Jake Milheisen as they take the airways. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card. Free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Hey, welcome back to the Nebraska Women's Basketball Radio Show with Amy Williams. I'm Matt Coatney, and our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Let's head back to the Woodhouse Auto Family hotline. Let's go up to Omaha. Jamie, you're on with Amy Williams.
Hey, Matt. Hey, Coach. First a request and then a question. The request is beat Creighton, beat Iowa first, and then beat everybody else.
Jamie, I like that request. I think my own daughters and husband would probably agree with those requests. So
now to the question. So I saw that Coach Cook talked to your team, and you guys might have already talked about this, but what were some of the things that Coach Cook talked to the team about? And also, I just want to say I love how close the volleyball and basketball team is with each other, but if you could just talk about what he talked to you guys about.
Yeah, I'm thrilled to do that. I thought that Coach Cook was amazing. I just feel so grateful to him for being willing to take time right now, in the busiest part of their conference championship quest to come over and spend some time with my team. But for sure, my team was really locked in on every word he was saying, so it was well worth it. I thought what he said and his messages just really resonated with our team. But I thought some of the best things, and he had several really good and valid points that applied, but he spent a lot of time talking about how in Husker volleyball, they really don't pay attention to expectations. They don't talk about expectations. When you use that word expectations, then you almost always are going to fall short of somebody's expectations somewhere. But what they do within their program is just setting standards that they want to live up to. And, specifically gave some examples from the Purdue game that they had played the day before they that he came to speak to our team about just kind of letting balls drop and them wanting to be the #1 defensive team in the country, and that's not part of their standards. And I thought just really good examples. And, one other thing that really resonated, that's something I've wanted to talk to our team more about and more extensively since he spent time with us, was just the self-talk that's going on in an athlete's mind, and how they work really hard in volleyball space to have positive self-talk. He asked some of my players specifically about what the conversation is like that's going on in their head in the game situation, and whether they'd be willing to admit to not just the positive self-talk, but some of the other stuff that creeps in, and just how important that is when trying to compete at a high level.
Thank you very much for the phone call, Jamie. Nebraska 811 says, go dig red. Before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. Huskers open the exhibition season Sunday, 1 o'clock Central against Washburn, the Ichabods. Jeff Greash and I have it for you at 12:45 Central right here on the Huskers Radio Network. Amy, this has been fun. Let's do it a lot this year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Matt. Thanks.
We have hour 2 of Sports Nightly abbreviated with a practice report from Husker football, the John Baylor and Lauren Cook West at the bottom of the next hour with Husker volleyball against Wisconsin. Good night, Nebraska.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402